back to Age Perfect Beauty. My name is Vicki and I'm here again with the lovely Natalie. Natalie is a master hairstylist, and today we're going to be talking about how you can go and transition from your dyed hair into gray hair, natural gray hair, gracefully, as Natalie would put it. So if this is of interest to you, please stick around. Okay, Natalie, let's discuss how we can go from dyed hair to gray hair as gracefully and as painlessly as possible.
So I've done it hundreds of times. Women want to transition back to their gray hair. They don't want the high maintenance. They want easy hair.
Yeah.
And most of them don't want to lose all their length. They want to stay
With
long,
some length.
With some length.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, like an average woman's hair or men's hair grows ½ inch a month. So how long before your 6 inch of hair is grown out? It's a year.
Right.
So that transition is painful.
Right, it is painful.
So the best way that I found that I can transition women into going gray is utilizing highlights.
Oh, okay.
And this way, the human eye doesn't like a straight line. So by creating highlights and adding more and more highlights, eventually you get gray hair.
Okay, so say I'm not going to do this, but let's just say I was going to go gray. What would we do?
We would start with highlights and I would tone them more gray. And this way as well, you get used to visually see yourself gray.
But how do you know what color gray I'm going to be? Because when my mom did this, hi Mom, if you're watching me. When my mom went naturally gray, she had very short hair anyways. Yeah. And she just went, I'm just doing it. Kind of like I did with menopause. I'm just going into this. I'm not going to get any help. So Mom just went gray. And she just kept getting her hair cut really, really short. But she was concerned about, is it going to come in a little bit dark in some places? And is it going to be like a pretty gray? Is it going to be like a white? So how can you judge?
For me, what I do is I can see it when it's coming in at the scalp. You stop coloring.
Okay.
You have an inch, maybe 2 inch of regrowth at this point.
Okay.
And I can see where it's more gray, I will do more highlighting.
Okay.
Where it's more dark, I can do a low light, I can leave it, I can do a little few waves, fine weaves. You need to find a really skilled hairstylist.
So you're basically looking at the root and the color that the gray's coming in, and then you're going to determine what kind of highlights you're going to put in, and you're going to try to match that gray so that the person, so that your client gets used to the gray, and it'll eventually come out evenly.
Yes.
Where you'll have more gray than you will dark.
And it's not done in one session. This is done over multiple sessions, sometimes up to a year.
Yeah.
I have a client, she has a bob about this length. It took us, I would say, maybe 7-8 months to get it to match her gray completely.
Yeah. I would say with my mom, it was about a year transition, even with short hair.
She cut it all off, right?
She cut it all off, but it was, and she's got a little bit of dark here, and I really like it. I think it's pretty. But my mom was blonde. You know, bleach blonde, pretty much for her most of her adulthood. So for her, I didn't really notice a big difference because she's been light. For me, it would be a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I transition it, and making sure we put a toner, using silver brightening shampoo so the highlights don't go yellow.
So how do we deal with dull hair? Like how do you, because I know I've got this in my kit where you've got like it's almost like it's not a mousse, but it looks like a mousse and it's purple, and you put that in, at the blow dry stage, and it actually really helps silver hair shine. So do you have any other ideas for?
Well, for me, I use Color Illuminator, and it's like allows the cuticle to shine.
Okay.
And that's part of the hair strand, because the cuticle is what's on the surface.
So the problem with gray hair is that most of it, some of us are lucky and we get beautiful shiny gray hair, but most of us have to deal with that dull gray hair, right? So is there something that people can use at home because I mean, I've got this purple mousse, my mom uses it as well. Do you?
Well, what's happened with gray hair is it has multiple layers of cuticle, and I would say almost impacted. They're crisscrossed, they're flat, multiple layers, so it's hard for the light to shine through and moisture to get in, so it's getting dehydrated.
Is that why gray hair is usually more texturized?
Resistant, texturized, yeah. It's that cuticle you're feeling.
More coarse, it's coarse, yeah.
So it's lacking moisture.
Okay, yeah.
So you need to make sure you're using good quality products that's not going to build silicone on your hair.
Yeah.
Quality hair salon brand that are without silicone.
Yeah.
And do multiple treatment. A lot of time they want to go gray because they want easy maintenance, but you still need to do treatment in your hair. It's not because you stop coloring your hair that you don't need to add moisture, strength, vitamins to your hair. And that's
Very
what
true.
it's lacking.
Yeah, yeah.
And that cuticle being impacted, it doesn't allow light to reflect.
And one thing that I should make mention of as well is whenever you change your hair color, it doesn't matter whether you're going to go gray or whether you're going to go light or whether you're going to go dark, you need to consider how you want your makeup to change as well, because it will change. This video is not about that. Maybe we'll do another one that's going to be about that, but you do have to consider that, because when you go gray, the tones that you put on your skin really do change.
Yeah.
So if we were going to do extensions, because in our last video we talked about putting extensions in to make hair look thicker. So what do we do if we want it and it looks good on us and we want to have, you know, shoulder length type hair and we want to add some volume to it every so often? We want to have longer hair. Can we do that when we have gray?
Well, it's harder. You will have to invest more money, because now at this point the hairstylist is going to have to match your color. They don't sell gray extension. They might, but it's very few and far in between company. You're going to pay a lot more money for that hair.
You're better off just to go to your hairstylist and have them color it to the right, the right color.
Match it.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger investment.
Yeah.
But
it can look really good, because now, I don't know if anybody is on Instagram. I know you and I are, but there's some, and I follow them on Instagram, some beautiful models now that are, you know, in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, which is fabulous. And they're really having like this rebirth of their career, and they're beautiful gray hair. There's a couple that have really long, and it's beautiful gray hair. So they're obviously taking care of it, and I would not be surprised if they're not adding extensions in that as well.
You can do it. It's an investment in your looks.
Now what about hair cut and length? Is there an ideal, or does it really just matter on face shape? Can you have long gray hair? Should you do it long? Should you keep it short?
Well, it's all about how you want to project yourself into the world. Do you want to look like that old granny with the bun? You know?
Or the blue rinse.
So it's all about what projection you want to have. If you want to be sassy, funky, I have a lot of sassy, funky gray hair women that have very similar haircut to mine.
I was going to say, like yours.
It's a very fashion forward. It looks great in gray hair, and sometimes we even have fun. I will put low lights in it, like grayer, deep gray low lights, like a deep color to add dimension. I will color the underneath. Nothing with commitment. You can still color your hair if you have a great stylist that can respect where the growth is. You can add chunks of low light, and then it makes your hair almost look more blonde, because now that gray's really in, that gray blonde. And it keeps it youthful and fun. There's nothing more boring than a bun. Let's face it. Like, if I see somebody in a bun, I want to cut it off. Like, wear your hair. Don't.
I know what you're saying.
Like,
it's almost like when I deal with women that are younger that have gorgeous hair and they just have it up all the time, and they say, "Oh my gosh, my nieces are like this." Okay, they have gorgeous hair and they always have it up in a bun or a ponytail. And I'm like, if you don't enjoy your hair now today, like, you're never gonna really enjoy it. So you're right. You have
so
to.
if you're gonna style it, bob, beautiful. I love bobs. They're fashionable. They're timeless. Wear a little bit of lipstick. If you don't have to do your whole face, even a little bit of lipstick, I think.
Oh my gosh,
a lot. If you have gray hair, it adds color, and the way you dress. I have this fabulous book in my hair salon to inspire aging women to not give up on their look. It doesn't mean not to have gray hair, not to be yourself. It means to express who you are as a human being. And I think it shows through hair. So your stylist should talk with you. What's your lifestyle? What do you do? Do you blow dry? Do you use rollers? I have clients that use hot rollers. If they're going to use hot rollers, I might give them more length. To give that body and that softness. It will give them more volume with fine hair.
Okay.
It depends what you're willing to do in the morning. If you want wash and go, I recommend a little bit shorter. You style it quicker. It looks thicker.
And you know, the style and go when you have gray hair, because my mom's kind of got that now. The shorter you go, the better. You used to add mousse in it because your hair does get into that different texture, right? You're able to kind of go au naturel a little bit more often, which is nicer when you get older, for sure. Okay, well, I think that's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate this, Natalie.
You're
I
welcome.
really like the fact you come in and give us your expert opinion. Thanks very much for watching and for subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Age Perfect Beauty.